Hello learners, do you know what's a mineral? A naturally occurring substance with a defined chemical composition is a mineral, and they are not evenly distributed over space. Minerals are concentrated in a particular area or rock formations. A few of these minerals are found in areas which are not easily accessible, such as the Arctic Ocean bed and Antarctica. Minerals are also formed in several types of geological environments under varying conditions, and they are created by natural processes without any human interference. They can be identified on the basis of their physical properties such as color, density, hardness, chemical properties, and solubility. So, what are the bases on which they could be actually identified? That is their physical properties. That is the color, the density, hardness, chemical property, such as what? Your solubility. So, let's understand this topic. That is, the first topic is going to be what are the various types of minerals? Now, there are 3000 various types of minerals that are based on their composition. They can be classified into what? Metallic minerals or non-metallic minerals. Metallic minerals contains a metal in their raw form. Metals are hard substances that conduct heat and electricity and have a characteristic luster or shine. Iron ore, bauxite, and manganese ore are some examples. Metallic minerals may be ferrous or non-ferrous. So they might be ferrous and non-ferrous. Now, what does that mean? Ferrous minerals like iron ore, manganese, and chromites contain iron. So, ferrous means that they are going to have iron in it, whereas non-ferrous means that there is going to be no iron in it. So, a non-ferrous mineral does not contain iron but may contain some other metals such as gold, silver, copper, or lead. And non-metallic minerals do not contain metals like your limestone, your mica, and gypsum are example of such minerals. The mineral fuels like coal and petroleum are also your non-metallic minerals. Now, minerals can be extracted by mining, drilling, or quarrying. Mining is the process of actually extracting the minerals from rocks that are buried under the earth's surface. Meanwhile, in open case mining, minerals that lie at shallow depths are extracted by removing the surface layer. At the same time, shaft mining is the method in which deep bores, which are known as your shaft, are made to reach the mineral deposits that lie at great depths. Also, drilling is the method used to bore deep wells so as to take out the petroleum and natural gas that occur far below the earth's surface. Finally, in the method known as quarrying, minerals that lie near the surface are just dug out. So this is exactly what is mining, drilling, and quarrying. And always remember that in mining you have two things, that is open cast mining and shaft mining. Next is distribution of minerals. Now in distribution of minerals, we basically are going to study about what are the types of minerals, that is metallic minerals and non-metallic minerals, which we already know. Then their rock formation and examples. So the rock formation is going to be that the metallic minerals are basically formed by igneous and metamorphic rock formations, whereas the non-metallic ones are from the sedimentary ones. And examples are simple. You can just read that iron ore in North Sweden, copper in this. So all these are the examples. And similarly for your non-metallic minerals as well, you have, like for example in your Ukraine, you have deposits of magnesium in Ukraine, and you have all these minerals. So just give it a read. Simple. Now, let me go and actually tell you like point wise point that in Asia what is going on, in Europe, then North America, South America, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. But we are actually going to read it in a bit, I won't say hurry, but we are just going to like skim through it fastly because it's just general knowledge and we are just going to read it. So in Asia, the largest iron ore deposits are in China and India. Then the world's largest tin producer is going to be China, Malaysia, Indonesia. And the production of lead, antimony, and tungsten. Who is the lead? It's written, it's China. Next comes your Europe. In Europe, the leading producer of iron ore in the world is going to be, okay, it's Europe, okay. Then the countries with the large deposits of iron ore is your Russia, Ukraine, Sweden, and France. Then the mineral deposits of copper, lead, zinc, manganese, and nickel is going to be what? Your Eastern Europe and European Russia. Next is your North America. So the mineral deposits in North America are located in three zones. That is the Canadian region, north of the Green Lakes, this region, and then this region. Then the iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium, and copper, it's mined in this, that is Canadian Shield region, then coal in this region, and vast deposits of copper, lead, zinc, gold, and silver is in this region. So it's actually, pretty much, I would say, cramming things, because you have to learn that, all right, where to find coal, where to find copper, lead, zinc, gold, silver, where to find this mineral, where to find iron ore, this and that. So you actually have to learn it, and it's very important, and actually it's very, very useful also in so many questions. So just learn it, it's important. Next is your South America. So the largest producer of high-grade iron ore in the world is your Brazil. The leading producer of copper is Chile and Peru. Then world's largest producer of tin is Brazil and Bolivia. Then the largest deposits of gold, silver, zinc, chromium, manganese, bauxite, mica, platinum, asbestos, and diamond is basically your South America. And then mineral oil, I'm so sorry, it's actually found in Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Colombia. Next, we move to Africa. Now, Africa is rich in what? In mineral resources. It's the world's largest producer of diamonds, gold, and platinum. The producer of a large portion of world's gold is what? Your South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. Copper, iron ore, chromium, uranium, cobalt, and bauxite is basically found where? In other minerals. That are these basically are the other minerals that are found in Africa. And oil I can actually extract from what? Nigeria, Libya, Angola. Next is your Australia. Now you can see the largest deposit in Australia are in this areas of the Western Australia, and it's actually the largest producer of what? Your bauxite in the world. It's the leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, tin, nickel, etc. It's also rich in copper, lead, zinc, and manganese. Next is Antarctica. So variety of mineral deposits are also found in Antarctica, and some of them probably are what? Large. Now the significant size of deposits is basically, a whole mountain, that is the Trans-Antarctic Mountains. And deposits of iron forecasted near the Prince Charles Mountains of East Antarctica, and iron ore, gold, silver, and oil are actually present in what? Commercial quantities in your Antarctica. Now, let's move on to the next topic, that is, what are the uses of minerals? So minerals are first of all used in gems. You have seen them in hard sets in various jewelry styles. Next is copper, for example, is used in making coins and pipes. So minerals are also used in making coins and pipes. Next is they are also used in computer industry. For example, your silicon. Silicon is used in computer industry and is actually obtained from quartz. Next is in automobiles, airplanes, bottling industry, your buildings, your kitchen, cookware, etc. Like for example, your aluminium that is extracted from its ore bauxite is used in all these industries. Now let's move further and study the topic, that is conserving minerals. So minerals are a non-renewable resource that takes thousands of years for its formation and concentration of minerals. The rate of formation is actually much smaller than the rate at which the humans consume these minerals. And it's necessary to reduce the wastage in the process of mining. Therefore, recycling metals is another way to conserve the minerals. And this is exactly what is your conservation of minerals. Power resources. So power or energy plays a vital role in our lives. We also need power for industry, agriculture, transport, communication, and defense. Power resources may be broadly categorized as conventional and non-conventional resources. So as conventional and non-conventional resources. Let's start with the conventional resources. The energy which has been in common use for a long time are conventional sources. Examples are firewood and fossil fuels. So when I talk about firewood, it's widely used for cooking and heating. 50% of energy is used by villagers, that actually the villagers use, comes from firewood. And next is that the remains of plants and animals which are buried under the earth from millions of years got converted by heat and pressure into the fossil fuels. So this is very, very important point, how the fossil fuels were actually made. Then fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum and natural gas are the main source of conventional energy. And next is the rate at which the growing world population is consuming them is far greater than the rate at which it's forming. So these are likely to be exhausted soon. The next which we are going to talk about is coal. That is, it's abundantly found fossil fuel. It's used as a domestic fuel in industry such as iron and steel, steam engines to generate electricity, etc. Then electricity is from coal is basically called thermal power. And the coal was formed how? It was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swarms got buried under the layers of the earth. And coal is therefore referred to as what? Buried sunshine. The leading coal producers of the world are China, US, Germany, Russia, South Africa and France. The coal producing areas of India are Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad, Bokaro in Jharkhand, etc. Next comes your petroleum. So when I talk about petroleum, I would basically say that it's found between the layers of rocks. It's drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas and then sent to the refineries that process the crude oil and produce a variety of products like what? Your diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics, lubricants, etc. And petroleum and its derivatives are actually known as what? The black gold, which is very valuable. And the chief petroleum producing countries are going to be Iran, Iraq, Saudi, Qatar, and other major producers are US, Russia, Venezuela, Algeria. And leading producers in India are Digboy in Assam, then Bombay High in Mumbai, and deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. Next comes your natural gas. Now, when I actually talk about natural gas, what all are the things that we are going to read? That is, it's found with petroleum deposit and is released when the crude oil is brought to the surface, and it is used as a domestic and industrial fuel. And who are the major producers? That is your Russia, Norway, UK, Netherlands and India. It's going to be Jaisalmer, Krishna Godavari Delta, Tripura, and some areas that is offshore in Mumbai have natural gas resources. Next is hydel power. So what is hydel power? Hydel is actually, water. So it's water. So it's hydel power. The rainwater or river water is actually stored in dams. The falling water flows through pipes inside the dam over turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam. And the moving blades, basically the thing is that it's production of the electricity, and with the help of the pressure that is generated by water, the blades are moved that generate your electricity. And this is nothing but the hydroelectricity. So leading producers are given, that is Prague and Norway and Brazil and China, and important hydel power stations in India is Bhagra Nangal, then Gandhi Sagar, Nagar, Jun Sagar, Damodar Valley projects, etc. Next comes your non-conventional sources of energy. So right now we were only discussing about the conventional sources of energy. Now we are going to wrap up with the non-conventional sources of energy as well. So let's study the non-conventional sources now. So non-conventional is going to be the solar energy. That is how we actually derive the solar energy and use it for the production of electricity. So it's trapped within the solar cells, and these cells are basically joined to form solar panels to generate power for heating and lighting purposes. And solar energy is basically used in your solar heaters, your solar cookers, your solar dryers, besides being used for community lighting and traffic signals. Next is your wind energy. That is how I'm actually deriving wind energy to produce electricity. And that is why your windmills. And actually these farms are found where? In Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, UK, USA, Spain. Next comes your nuclear power. So it's basically obtained from the energy that is stored in the nuclei of atoms of naturally occurring radioactive elements like what? Your uranium and thorium. And its generation That is, nuclear fission is basically a process that is involved in the generation of your nuclear power. Then what are going to be the great producers? USA and Europe. Then uranium in India for like deposits, Rajasthan and Jharkhand. Then thorium in large quantities is basically your monazite sands of Kerala. And then nuclear power stations in India. All these are nuclear power stations in India. That is in Tamil Nadu, in Maharashtra, in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, and in Karnataka. Next, we have geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is basically when I am deriving the energy from the earth to produce electricity or to actually get energy from the earth itself. So the heat energy obtained from earth is termed as what your geothermal energy. And basically the temperature which is in the interior of the earth, it rises steadily with what your depth. And heat energy may surface itself in the form of hot springs, and this energy is used to generate power, and in the form of hot springs it has been used for cooking, for heating, and for bathing. The world's largest geothermal power plants is US, followed by New Zealand, Iceland, Philippines, Central America, etc. And plants in India is in Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in your Ladakh. Next is your tidal energy. That is the energy that is harnessed by your tides, and it's harnessed by what? By your dams. So that is basically what is termed as what your tidal energy. So during high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbines, and these turbines, when they rotate, they produce what? Electricity. So the mills are going to be in what? Russia, France, and Gulf of Kutch in your India. The last is your biogas energy. Now, what exactly is biogas energy? So, biogas energy is nothing but the organic waste which can be converted into a large fuel, and that is basically termed as your biogas. The organic waste is decomposed by the bacteria in biogas digesters, and they emit what? Biogas. It's an excellent fuel for cooking and lighting and production of huge amounts of organic manure each year. And harnessing this energy is both difficult as well as costly. So, here we have reached the end of our discussion. I hope you people understood the chapter and stay tuned for more amazing content. Thank you.